Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to give you guys 3 life-changing planner hacks. So I'm not going to be talking about things like, resizing your inserts or putting slits in them because I'm going to assume that you guys already know these tips. And if you don't, I'll link some videos down below. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1 has to do with your paper trimmer. This is the really popular Fiskars paper trimmer. I'm assuming a lot of you probably have this one or something close to it, but you guys know that you can remove and replace these blades that get dull, right? These little tiny blades. And we all know that if we have a dull blade, the paper comes out all jaggedy, and we do not like that. So the one thing that you can do to kind of save these and be able to prolong its life is to get an aluminum ball, which is literally just aluminum scrunched into a ball, like, the stuff that you cover your dishes and stuff with, and take the blade and press it into the aluminum ball like this. And what that's doing is sharpening your little knife. Do you see? It's basically like a knife sharpener in your kitchen, and when your kitchen knives get dull, you sharpen it, right? So what you can do is do this sharpening so you don't have to replace these as often. Obviously, it doesn't last forever, but it really prolongs the life of your paper cutter. So tip number 2 has to do primarily with dashboards, okay? And what the problem is for dashboards, sometimes you'll find that you'll get a dashboard or some sort of decorative insert, and it's literally just the one item on a whole piece of paper, right? A US letter piece of paper. So you literally get one dashboard and you've wasted an entire page of precious vellum when you could have fit 2, for example, for the personal size. Or for pocket size, you have the one dashboard when you could have fit 4. Like, that is heartbreaking. So this tip, I'm going to show you how you can print 2 items onto one paper. And I'll take you over to my computer right now so I can show you that. So here I'm going to show you guys an example. Let me just explain why the file is like that to give you some background so you guys understand. Okay, so this is an example from my shop of the inserts that I sell. This is just my GTD bundle, but I have 2 versions when I sell my inserts, and most shops do as well, right? So one version is for you to print on US letter or A4 size paper. So you usually have the 2 inserts beside each other in personal size, for example, because you can print more than one insert for personal size on US letter paper, right? Because it's a big sheet of paper. But also I have another version. This would be personal size on pre-cut personal size paper. So of course it's just the exact size of whatever personal size is, and you print it directly onto a pre-cut paper. So of course it's only a 1-to-1 ratio, right? But it becomes an issue when, and this is usually for dashboards because you only have one insert anyways, because it's just a one dashboard, they give you the files like this, and you don't want to waste a sheet of paper. But if you go and print, so I'm going into my print settings, and so I'm in my print settings, and you see that it prints as one insert or one dashboard on each page, and that's a huge waste of paper, right? So a super simple fix for this is if you go down here into the page size and handling, go into multiple, and in the sheet section put 2, and now you'll see that you'll print 2 beside each other. And so that way you're not wasting your precious like vellum or whatever, right? Does that make sense? So it's really easy. So now you might have the question on, okay, well, what if it gives you an example like this? And let me pull one up. What if the dashboard or whatever that you get, and just pretend that this is, personal size. This is actually an A5 size, but pretend it's personal size, and you want to fit more than one of these on your sheet. Because do you see here, it's not the actual pre-cut insert. It has crop marks still. And you want to print 2 of these on one piece of paper. So in this example, you can't just go into, oops, sorry, I'm out of frame here. I'm just holding my phone, so sorry, it's a little shaky. You can't just go into here and print it like this, because if you do the multiple with this in this format, it's not going to come to the right size because your original paper was on letter size. Does that make sense? Because now when it puts two pages beside each other, it's going to put two letter size beside each other, and then your actual insert within it is going to be even smaller. Are you guys catching my drift? Does that make sense, guys? So for files like this, what you have to do is you need to crop this. So this is where you're going to need a PDF editor. That's probably not just a freebie. If you guys are using free versions, look on Google. There are other free PDF softwares that have extra functions above what like an Adobe Reader would give you. I have Adobe Pro, and what I can do is I can go in and crop my page down to the pre-cut size page that I was just previously showing you. And from there, I'd follow the instructions that I just said and print two on a page. So you need to be able to find a PDF editor that's able to crop your pages if it comes like this and you want to print more than one on a sheet. Does that make sense? And there are free editors online, PDF editors. I'm just not 100% familiar if they have a cut function, okay? And one last scenario I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna pull up the other one more time. So the other scenario that you'll run into is where you get a dashboard, for example, and it looks like this, and you only have one of them, right? And it's not like the multiples like in this sheet, you only have one, right? So in this case, you need to add all the individual ones in this pre-cut size into the one page. So again, with the Pro version of Adobe, I can easily merge and combine documents or take them out. But for most of us, we probably don't have the Pro version. So this, you need to find a PDF editor that allows you to combine multiple files. Those, I know there are free versions or even just like an online program that adds them together. You just have to upload the PDF files. So those are really easy to find. Okay, it's the one with the cropping that I'm not as sure. I'm sure there's something out there. There's a free version of everything, I feel like. So if you guys can find one, comment down below so that others can use it. But then if you have the US letter version where it has the crop marks, you're gonna have to crop it and then use the combiner, the merging option in a PDF editor to combine them so that you'll have multiple pages in one PDF, and you can go into the files again and do that print function. That was probably really, really confusing. Please let me know down below if that makes sense and if you have any questions. I will try to get to all the questions because I know this part's a bit confusing, but hopefully that helps you guys save some of our precious paper, right? It's like, it's expensive and it's killing trees. So I really, really hope this tip helps you guys. So that's tip number 2. If you're enjoying the tips so far, remember to give this video a like and subscribe down below, as well as hit that notification bell so you can get more tips in the future. So now on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 has to do with cutting inserts with those pesky outward facing cut lines. If you guys have seen my videos in the past, you guys know how much I hate the outward facing cut lines, and I make sure that all my inserts in my shop have the inward ones just because it makes it so much easier for the trimming. You guys know what I'm talking about when you get to that last line and there's no more cut marks and you don't know where to cut. It's so frustrating, okay? We already have enough problems printing and cutting inserts. We don't need to add on another one, right? But I know a lot of inserts are made like this. So one way to get around it is to leave the shorter edge as your last cut and to make a mark on your trimmer. So it's the fastest and easiest way to do it without making a mistake. And I'll show you how. So first I'm going to cut on one side. Right? I'm just lining up my precision line to the outward lines, and I just made this as an example to show you just because, I didn't want to use somebody else's insert and call them out like that. So I just created one, you know, just for fun. And this trimmer is amazing. I highly recommend it just because it is so precise. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it has this wire so you can see exactly where it's cutting. And so you make the first cut. Then we make our second cut, and we're still okay because we can still see our cut marks. And then now cut the other short end and leave the long edge to cut last. So this is an A5 size, by the way. And now you're left with no cut marks, the dreaded side with no cut marks. So what I do is I add washi tape to where I know that mark should be. So on an A5 insert, that last edge, the shorter edge, is supposed to be 5.27, I believe, inches. And so I just put a little piece of washi tape right on where it should be so that I know to line it up there. Now, the reason why I do it on the short edge is because if you have the long side, I mean, it still works, but you got to pull out this arm and it's really annoying. So the fastest way to do it is just to leave the one short edge, have the mark so you know exactly where to go, and then cut that last side, and you'll have the perfect sheet of paper or the perfect insert. Mine's just a sheet of paper, but yours hopefully is an insert. And those are your 3 hopefully life-changing tips. If they weren't, again, please let me know down in the comments below. And remember to subscribe and like the video if you didn't. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!